everybody. I know you're used to hearing from me, but tonight your master of ceremonies is Eric Walton. Eric, take it away.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sarah. Well, hello, good evening, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Flavors of Magic. My name is Eric Walton, and I shall be your happy host, your merry master of ceremonies, your compere beyond compare for this evening's Parade of Prodigies. Buenas noches, damas y caballeros, y bienvenidos al espectáculo. Mi nombre es Eric Walton y seré su maestro de ceremonias para el show de esta noche. Now, our first performer of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, and let me tell you, we have an amazing lineup of talent for you tonight. Truly amazing. I'm so excited to be here among these incredibly talented people. And our first performer of the evening is a true student of the art of magic. He taught himself the ancient and venerable art of sleight of hand over the course of many years, eventually decided to go a more traditional route and found himself a mentor in the art of magic, a person named Denny Haney. May he rest in power. His love of theater and performing eventually led him to pursue a degree and a BFA in theater performance from George Mason University. So he combines a very theatrical element into his magic, elements of storytelling as well. It's quite captivating, as you will soon learn for yourselves. He is currently headlining in an award-winning comedy magic show happening at the Mayflower Hotel in Washington, D.C., called The Magic Duel. The Magic Duel, rather. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here to beguile you with a few things he learned in quarantine is the one, the only, Ryan Phillips.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah, for having me tonight. It's such an honor to be here. And obviously, I'm here in my home studio in Washington, D.C. And as you can tell from my setup, I have been doing quite a bit of research in quarantine, and I've actually stumbled upon my new favorite definition of magic. It's very simple. One human being deceiving another human being who knows they're being deceived. As the conjuring performer, well, I promise to share with you things that defy the laws of nature. And as the audience, you kind of have to suspend your disbelief to buy into that fiction. But you've also bought a ticket to our show. Perhaps you're here as an escape from the quarantine blues, or you're here expecting miracles beyond belief. And we will exceed your expectations. And then there are those who don't give a crap what we do. They just want to figure out how the tricks are done. They don't view magic as an art form, but more as a game or a puzzle that needs to be solved. So I figured, why not just start off with a game and then we can work our way up to the magic. Now, this is very simple. It uses a cup and a ball. Now, the idea is to get the ball from my pocket and secretly sneak it back underneath the cup without anyone noticing. That's it. From the pocket, back underneath the cup. Can I get a thumbs up from maybe in the chat room? A thumbs up so we all know that when we're ready, because no one's precisely ready for the exact moment that it's. You're ready? Fair enough. Let's begin. That's one for me. I cheated. I couldn't help myself. I used what we magicians call misdirection, a fundamental principle of magic, getting you to look at the wrong place at the right time while I do something sneaky in between. I'll give you a clear demonstration. I place the ball inside the cup. I'll shake it up and down so you can hear it in there. Now, when I do this, notice how all of my attention is focused here on the cup. My eyesight, my body language, my posture, my attitude, it's all focused on the cup, which means everyone else watching at home should also be looking at the cup, which means you're not looking at the hand. And the moment you do look at the hand is when that ball disappears and reappears back underneath the cup. That's two for me. Now, if I were a scoundrel and wanted to cheat you out of a lot of money, which I have been tempted to do from time to time, I could turn this into a betting game. I could offer a wager of whether you think the ball is underneath the cup or inside my pocket. Of course, you will never win. If you say it's under the cup, well, then, of course, I will show you it's in my pocket. Reverse, if you say it's in the pocket, well, then it will be underneath the cup. Sometimes it takes a few moments. or two, just like that, reappears underneath the cup. Now, the more astute of you watching will probably come to understand that one object cannot be at two different places at the same time, which means I must use a second ball. And I do. Although this one's a little bit bigger than the others. Yeah, you see, folks, I bet you didn't see that second ball coming, did you? No, the second ball. The second ball. You see, folks, this is just a little demonstration of what I hope you can understand is the difference between a game and a trick and real magic. For example, if I reach under there and produce a third ball, that would be miraculous. Perhaps you're sitting at home saying, yeah, that would be pretty cool. It'd be more impressive if you could produce some kind of food, perhaps, I don't know, a lemon. Oh, look at that. Thank you very much, folks. Moving right along, this is one of the newer pieces that I've been working on. And not that it's a new trick, it's a very old classic trick, but for me, I'm still working through the choreography and the script. However, it really is a beautiful thing, and I think it's worth showing tonight. It uses some peculiar props, but the important ones for you to note are these 4 Morgan silver dollar coins. They're actually antique, minted from the early 1800s. We also have this little drink coaster, which I stole from an Applebee's. We will use this sort of as a raised stage or platform for the little piece of cork. And the cork, by the way, I should mention, is just a little sliver that's been shaved off the end of a wine cork bottle, and will sort of act as a little target landing zone for the trick, and it will be covered by the little tube. And why not? I can show you the tube as well. It's just a piece of leather strap. I can show you in the camera. If you were here at home, I would let you examine it. So you can see it is just free of guile, but the important property is anything dropped inside will pass right through. Since it has no top or bottom, it's simply there to hide the little piece of cork. Now, I want to roll up my sleeves for this because it's important that I do everything fair and above board. And I'd like you to watch very closely. I'll do everything at my fingertips. It's 4 coins. Watch very close. That first coin is inside the hand. With the power of the magic wand, very simply, I just pass it gently through my fist, and you'll notice that first coin disappears. It doesn't go far, though. It actually travels inside the little cylinder to join the piece of cork. If you miss that, don't worry. You have 3 more chances to get it. So watch very close. That second coin, I just touch lightly with the wand, very gently. And that second coin vanishes. Now it's at this point that people usually grab a hold of me and they inspect my hand to make sure there's no slit or pocket in the skin that allows me to hide the coins. And well, I do. Don't tell anyone, but it's true. You see, folks, I get this coin with enough pressure to pass it right through my palm. Yeah, I'll do that again for you in case you missed it. Watch very close. Just pass right through. This time, if I just touch gently with the wand, it too will vanish, leaving me with the third and final coin, considered to be the most difficult since everyone's watching closely. I'll do this in super slow motion from the hand to the cylinder. You know what? Let's do it long distance. I like the challenge. Watch close. Vanishes once more. And just to make sure you don't get any sleep tonight, I've actually made them reappear underneath that little piece of cork. Thank you very much. You know, I want to take this a step further. I'll cover the corks with the cylinder. Sorry, did I say corks? I meant coins. Cover the coins with the cylinder. I'll leave them sticking out so you can see the whole time. That little piece of cork stays in my hand. You can see the coins the very last moment, and then we travel back in time to when I had a coin at my fingertips. That's one. Of course, we didn't start with one. We had several. It's 2 coins from nowhere. Of course, we didn't start with 2 coins. We had 3, 4. And those of you who've been paying attention, that little piece of cork has already vanished and reappears back underneath the cylinder, right where it belongs on its little stage underneath the cylinder, which has no top, no bottom, and that's what magic should look like. Thank you very much. Well, folks, it has come to that time of the evening for my last piece. And for this, I need somebody to help me. So let's bring up onto the stage, the camera. I believe there's a Helen waiting in the waiting room somewhere. If you could join us on screen, Helen.
Yeah, unmute yourself, Helen.
Oh, can you unmute yourself, please? We need to be able to hear you.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Helen.
Yeah, hi. I thought I was already on the screen, but I didn't realize I just need to unmute myself.
No worries. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Helen, I have a gift for you. Do you mind if I give you a gift?
I guess not.
Okay, here it is. It's not much. It's just a little silver key. I don't know if you can see that there, Helen, but this is, believe it or not, the key to your imagination. It's true. It's true. And I want to give this to you, Helen, so I'm going to go ahead and just pass it through the screen there. If you could catch it for me.
I think I'm not a good catcher.
Oh, that's all right. It takes a little while through time and space.
Okay.
But once you have it, can you sort of hold it up to the camera?
Okay.
Oh, perfect. That's wonderful. And if you could start to mold it in your hand, almost like Play-Doh, and shape it into something that might resemble a deck of playing cards.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Now that's just the box. We're gonna need the actual cards. So if you could take them out of the case, set the box aside.
Okay.
But remember where you put it. You will need to know where it is later.
Okay.
And if you could fan the cards towards yourself so you can see all the backs of the cards.
Okay.
And you'll notice from the back, they're all identical, each and every one. It's not like an imaginary marked deck of cards. That would be silly. And Helen, if you could just reach in and pluck any card you'd like. And you could show the camera as well. We can see, what card did you take?
Well, I don't know. I can only see the backs, right?
Oh, true. You'll have to take a peek at it. What card did you look?
Oh, okay. It's the 8 of diamonds.
Oh, it's the 8 of diamonds. The devil's playing card.
Oh.
Now, Helen, you can keep the 8 of diamonds if you'd like, or you could change your mind. It's completely up to you.
There are other cards with different themes. Like, so this is the devil's themed card. I could choose a different one.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I think maybe, just given the stressors of the day, I will choose a different card.
Fair enough. It has no reflection on your character whatsoever, but if you'd like, feel free to choose another one.
Okay, I've got the 3 of clubs.
The 3 of clubs, the angel's playing card.
Excellent, much better.
I think this will be more well suited for you.
Okay.
Helen, if you can take that 3 of clubs and stick it back somewhere in the deck, but leave it flipping over so it's the opposite direction. And gather up the cards, put them back inside the card case. And when you're ready, just sort of toss them up to me for you, please.
Okay. There we go.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's just the key.
Oh.
But again, remember, Helen, this is the key to your imagination.
Okay.
And in this metaphor, your imagination is the box, which has been sitting behind me on this little plant stand. I don't know if you've noticed that. It's probably been in frame this whole time. And I just want you to watch, Helen. You'll notice a large padlock on the front of said box. And with any hope, oh, yeah, it unlocks it. Now, Helen, inside the box is a bag.
Okay.
Not so impressive. But what's inside the bag is going to blow your mind, Helen. Look, inside the bag is a deck of playing cards very similar to the one that you just imagined. Now, Helen, I want to confirm for everyone there's nothing else inside. Now, again, in your imagination, you only saw the backs of the cards. They were all identical, correct?
Right, right.
But in the end, you only decided on one playing card.
Right.
Which means that the rest of the deck, Helen, would be blank. They don't exist in your mind. Every card, every single card. In fact, I can go through the deck and show you, Helen, they are all blank. Every single one.
Ah.
Oh, except for one face down in the center of the deck, right where you left it. Helen, just to confirm for everyone, we never set anything up ahead of time. I've never met you before.
Nope.
I
wasn't even sure if I was going to do this. So.
Exactly. Well, you had the pleasure of being the first participant tonight. But Helen, there is one card and one card only. Would you be amazed if that playing card was the only 3 of spades printed in the deck? That'd be a miracle.
I would.
You would.
So.
Well, I guess I don't have to show you, Helen. I could just move on with the rest of the show.
Well, I thought I said 3 of clubs, but.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3 of clubs.
Yeah. I thought that's what I saw in my imagination was 3 of clubs, but maybe from when I imagined it to when I spoke it changed.
Right. It could. Sometimes the club looks like a spade, Helen.
That's true. That is true.
Shit.
But so I mean, that's why I would be surprised.
No, Helen. If you believe strong enough, this card could indeed be the 3 of clubs, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness. Very good.
Thank you very much. Well, folks, that concludes my portion of the show. Thank you, Helen. You were wonderful. Lovely to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sarah. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep it going for Ryan Phillips. Amazing. Really incredible. I just love those classic tricks. Sleight of hand with coins, all of that. The thing with the cup and the balls. Amazing. And let me tell you, I know that Ryan Phillips makes all of that stuff look incredibly easy and effortless, but I can assure you, having tried a lot of it myself, it is anything but easy. That represents years and years and years and untold hours of dedicated practice and training. So amazing stuff. What a pleasure to have Ryan Phillips on the show with us here tonight. A great way to get things underway. So, by the way, I want you to know that most of you we cannot hear throughout the show, but we would like to be made aware of how much you're enjoying the show. So if you see something or hear something that you find enjoyable and worthy of your applause, give us this. Yeah, so this is, I believe, the American Sign Language sign for, I really enjoy this, please give me more of that. I'm paraphrasing, but I think you get the picture. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am so very excited about our next performer. She is a lawyer with a passion for magic, or maybe she's a magician with a passion for law. Maybe she is both, and so very much more. She is working tonight with a partner. She has a performance partner with whom she has worked for many, many years. They have an amazing work relationship. It's quite enviable, I have to say. Now, our next performers, indeed performers, plural, they are lifelong students of the art of magic and conjuring. They've been doing it for a very long time, have tremendous passion for the work. This act has been defined as imaginative, charming, whimsical, and I think you will see that it deserves all of those accolades and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lads and lasses, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, please welcome to your screens, Sarah Krasson and Bramberg.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to start by myself. Bamberg will be out in a minute. But I wanted to do something first, something a little special for the holiday season, because we could all use a little holiday spirit, but there's so many great holidays. Who could pick just one? So I'm going to take this deck of blank playing cards and pay tribute to a bunch of holidays with a little something I like to call a visit from the Raven. Once, upon a midnight dreary, as I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, the children were nestled, all snug in their beds, with visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mon her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. And as I pondered, nearly napping, suddenly there came a rapping as of someone gently tapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this, and nothing more." Then suddenly there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. See, it's a bed with the little lines for springing. Yes. All right, look, perspective is hard, and I'm not a great artist. Work with me here, okay? I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping when so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below." Oh my. Back into my chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a rapping somewhat louder than before. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash, and the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain chilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. And what to my wondering eye should appear? But a miniature sleigh. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tiny reindeer. 8 reindeer. They're adorable. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. See, that's his feet coming out of the chimney? Yeah, you had that one. Not the least obeisance made he. Not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door. Perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door. Perched and sat, and nothing more. He was chubby and plump, a jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work. He filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. "Be that then our sign of parting, man or fiend?" I shrieked, upstarting. "Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore." See, it's Pluto, the planet with the little heart-shaped spot. Yeah, that one was hard. And laying a finger upside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. But as he flew off, his words came to my ear. "Merry Christmas to all, and a happy New Year." Thank you so much. And now, to bring out my partner, Bamberg. He's been very patient, and he'll be quite cross with me since I've left our stage untidy. Come on, it's time. It's your turn. Come. I'll help you. Here we go. There we go. Bamberg. Hi, everybody. Oh, that's great. And today, Bamberg, who is a very talented magician and a very hard worker, is going to do. Oh, of course. See, you're right. I promise. See, I got to pick the first piece, and now it's his turn, and he gets to pick what he does. See, turns and fair, very important to Bamberg. So, Bamberg, what is it that you want to do? A seance? Like, going to talk to the spirits? And are there any spirits here tonight? There are. In my apartment. Could they chip in for the rent? Oh, all right, I'm sorry. I shouldn't mock the spirits. I apologize. Okay. So normally, for something like this, I would go into the audience and gather some objects from people in the audience. But we can't do that for obvious reasons. Also because Bamberg might have a very hard time recognizing some of those objects, things that you carry around in your pockets or purses on a daily basis because, well, Bamberg is a bear. So I have brought a few things that Bamberg will definitely recognize. Here we go. A few objects that he'll know. And first we have, no, it's not honey, Bamberg. It's a tree, because, you know, Bamberg grew up in the forest. So he'll recognize that. And then we have, no, still not honey, but something yummy that you'll like to eat, an apple. Bears like apples. And let's see, we have, no, okay, Bamberg, look, let me shortcut this for you. There is no honey in here. In fact, I'm completely out. Unless you go find a beehive somewhere, I have to go shopping before there's any more honey. I have a moose, because when he was growing up in the forest, he had moose friends. And no, still no. Fish, you like to eat fish? Yes, you may have that after the show. And finally, yeah, that was yours. It was in the kitchen cupboard next to the peas. No, huh? Yeah. Oh, that's disgusting. You don't want to know. All right. Okay. Now, we need to pick one of the items, and so that Bamberg doesn't know which one, we are going to blindfold him. Bamberg, can you see? No, we're good. Okay, so let's see. Ray. Hi, Ray. Would you mind unmuting? Can you help me? You and your friend?
Sure.
Yep. Okay. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Ray. Okay, so hi, and Bamberg, if he could see you, he'd say hi too. So Ray, we are going to, yes, Bamberg, I'm going to make this very fair. We're going to take turns just like I do with you. Ray, you and I are going to take turns. So Ray, who would you like to pick first? You or me?
You.
You want me to pick first?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Both agree. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to pick these two, and now you choose one to eliminate, high or low.
High or low?
Oh.
I think that was low.
That was low. Okay, good. Thank you for translating. Okay, now it's your turn, and we're going to put these here so you can say it's north, south, east, or west. Okay?
North.
So, north in one hand, and which in my other hand?
South.
Yeah.
South. Okay, got it. So you've picked north and south, and I'm going to eliminate north. All right. Now I choose. Okay, and I'm going to pick here. So let's see, high or low to
High or
eliminate?
low? No, which one do you want?
High.
All right, let's go high.
High, okay. Okay, east or west?
East.
East, okay, east it is. Get rid of west. Now, we have culled it down to one. The spirits are the only ones who could possibly know what is in this bag. Nobody else knows. Bamberg, I want you to listen to the spirits, concentrate, and I'm going to give you this notebook. You are going to draw whatever they show you in your notebook. I'll give you the notebook and a pen. Here we go. Now, listen to the spirits and draw. All right, I think he's got it. Let's see what he drew. This, honey, Bamberg, you know, you're supposed to be paying attention to what the spirits are telling you, not what you want. That's, and I forgot to take the blindfold off. No wonder you had problems. Okay, that was my fault. We'll give you a fresh page. Try again. This time, pay attention to what the spirits are saying. Go ahead. Let's see. Well, I think he's connecting to the spirits. Okay, let's see what he drew. Honey, still, Bamberg, this is ridiculous. Look, I'll show you. We went through this. You saw all the objects. I'll show you. There's no. The spirits took care of Bamberg. I will never question them again. And yes, of course, you may have the honey. Thank you so much, everybody. A pleasure performing for you. Thank you, Bamberg. Eric, thanks.
Yes, thank you very much. Keep it going, ladies and gentlemen, for Sarah Krassen and Bamberg, the finest human bear magical duo in the business. Claws down, hands down, whatever bears have. Claws, all of those things, down. Yes, very cool. I do love a good blindfold act. Very impressed that Bamberg could draw such an amazing representation of a jar of honey while blindfolded. Absolutely incredible. I couldn't do that, and my brain is probably a tiny bit larger than his. But very cool stuff, very cool stuff. Oh, by the way, what keeps that relationship going, that work relationship between Sarah Krassen and her trusted colleague Bamberg, is mutual respect, a shared passion for the art of magic, and an ample supply of honey. And I think bears also eat locusts as well. I'm not sure if that's a part of his diet, but maybe. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am very excited about our next performer. He is the youngest performer on the bill tonight, and we're very pleased that he could join us here this evening. He's streaming from Harrison, New York, up in Westchester County, and we're very excited to see what he has in store for us tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to your screens, Smokey. Speaking of bears.
Hi, how's everyone doing? No, I'm not coming from Harrison. I'm coming from this industrial void that can change colors. Ooh.
Oh, my bad.
Hi, everyone. I'm Smokey the Magician, and I'm excited. This is my first Zoom show, and it presents an interesting challenge because I got to connect to you guys at home while I'm here. And I'm going to do this by using 3 participants. So using the raise hand feature, can I get 3 participants? You go to participate and you press raise hand. Any takers? Okay, volunteer or you be voluntold? Oh, okay. Phillips. Can someone put Phillips? Pitt, you can unmute yourself. Hi, how's it going?
Fabulous.
Enjoying the show?
Love it.
Awesome. So we need to select a card. You're going to be one of the 3 that helps do it. You get to choose. Is it going to be a black card or a red card?
Black.
Are you sure?
You look like you can handle it.
Awesome. Thank you for your vote of confidence. Thank you very much. Next we have Ray. Yes. You can unmute yourself. Or you can't. Hopefully. Yes. Now you get to choose the suit. They said black, so it's either clubs or spades.
Clubs.
Oh, there's more of them. Clubs. Okay, thank you. And then I need one last volunteer. Helen, thank you. Now, it's clubs, it's black. You can choose the picture cards, or you can choose any card from 2 to 10. Your choice.
What card do I choose? One card or?
One card. It has to be a clubs. You just give the value.
Oh, okay. How about the queen?
The queen, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, it's a big decision.
I'll go with my gut. That was the first thing that popped into my head.
Awesome, sounds good. All right, so we have the queen of clubs. Thank you very much. Now, I've had this deck of cards out this whole entire time. That does not want to open. One card is flipped over in the entire deck. And that one card is the Queen of Clubs. Now, everyone's been doing magic tricks. How about I teach a magic trick? You know, that's a revolutionary idea. I'll change it up a little bit. Now, first I'm going to show the trick, and then I'm going to teach it. I've got this card. On this side, it has 4 dots. On this side, it has 1 dot. On this side, it has 6 dots, and on this side, it has 3 dots. I'll do it again a little bit slower. On this side, it has 4 dots. On this side, it has 1 dot. On this side, it has 6 dots, and on this side, it has 3 dots. I'll tell you how it's done. So really, there's only 5 dots on this side. I cover this side to make it look like there's 4 dots. And then if I flip it around, I cover this side to make it look like there's 6 dots. And then on the other side, there's only 2 dots. I cover this one to make it look like there's only 1 dot. And then I cover this one to make it look like there's 3. Little trivia, anyone can shout it out. How many dots are on this card? Just shout it at 5. I see people raising their 5. Yes, there's only 5. And your mind fills in the 6th one. So you think something's happened. Why is everyone doing this? Oh, what? Oh, never mind. Show of hands. How many dots are on this card? We all know the answer. How many? 2, right? There's only 2. And your mind fills in the last one. What? You know what? I think we're all just seeing spots. All right, I have one last trick for you guys tonight before it's time to move on. I know. How sad. And this one uses 3 ropes. It uses a short rope, a medium rope, and a long rope. Now, if you were here in person, I'd let you take all the ropes and you'd see that they're just ordinary pieces of rope. There's nothing special or strange about them. What's special and strange is what I can do with them. Now, I'll take all 3 ends of these differently sized ropes. And I can change them so that they're going to all become the same size. Watch really careful. It's going to happen kind of fast. Just like that, I have 3 same size ropes. Now, that's pretty cool. What else can I do? Well, I'll show you. I can take these 2 ropes, and just like that, I can make them into 1 rope. Now, I'll tell you why this works so well. Because if you twist the ropes just right, you can actually have the ends pop off. So there's an end with no middle and a middle with no end. And that's really the secret to this whole thing. And then, of course, to get it back, all you have to do is tie it, and you've got 1 rope again. Now, I have to be ready for the next show, so I'm going to have to bring these ropes back to their original state. So first, this 1 rope I have to cut. Just like that, 2 even ropes, and then bring in the 3rd rope. Now, the way that you get them back to 3 even ropes, you take all the ends in your hand, and on the count of 3, and with the enthusiasm of everyone at home, it'll go back to 3 uneven ropes because reasons. All right, now everyone at home, do you think I can do it? You're all muted. Okay. Do you think you can do it? All right. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, I have a medium rope, a short rope, and a long rope. Thank you. I'm Smokey the Magician. Have a great night.
All right, keep it going, ladies and gentlemen, for Smokey the Magician. Fantastic, very cool. I have to say, I love that line he just used, volunteer or you'll be voluntold. I like that very much. Excellent, fantastic, great to have you with us here tonight. Smokey, doing your very cool stuff with the ropes and the cards and whatnot. I'm sure we'll be seeing more from him in future shows. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited about our next guest. This is not his first appearance here at Flavors of Magic. He's returning for the 2nd or 3rd time, and there's a very good reason that we keep asking him back. He has been called not your everyday abracadabra man by the Times of India. He is a magician. He is a scholar. He is a gentleman. He is descended from a long line, in fact, of priests and prophets and magicians and wonder workers. So this stuff is in his blood. It's in his DNA. He's been performing all over the world for the past 20 years for audiences large and small, mostly large. in the United States, in Europe, in the Middle East, and in Asia. He's performed at Yale University, Harvard University, the University of Chicago. He's performed at the Fringe Arts in Philadelphia. He's performed at the Illusions Bar in Baltimore, among many, many, many other places. He also teaches world history at Albright University in Philadelphia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to your screens Shriyash Pragneshar Palshikar. Sorry.
For centuries, India was known as a land of magic and mysticism. My uncle was an Indian magician, and my grandfather was a Hindu priest. A few years ago, I began a magical quest to explore the roots of Indian magic and to learn how it influenced magic all around the world. What did I find in India? I found a whole hidden world of magicians of all types. Ancient masters of the art, young apprentices, mysterious street magicians, colorful stage magicians, traditional and modern magicians, Western and Indian magicians, mind readers, musicians, illusionists, and even a magic clown from Mumbai. These people opened their hearts to me and showed me the true secrets of Indian magic, and it changed the course of my life. Join me on a fabulous journey to explore the secrets of Indian magic.
Welcome. Thank you for that kind and generous introduction. I am Shriyash, and what I'm going to do here, I will do one trick, but I'm actually coming in to give a bit of a kind of historical and cultural perspective on magic. And that is, in fact, beginning with the very first thing I did, which is this is how a traditional Indian street magician begins his show. So if he is on the street in Delhi or Jaipur or any Indian city or out in a village, he has a small drum shaped like an hourglass, you might say, with a skin on both ends and these small strings. And he takes the drum, and when people hear that sound, they know that it's probably a magic show, or it could be a monkey training show. Nowadays, you don't see as many monkey training shows. They're illegal in India, but they are still done in secret in villages. And I personally had the luck to watch one in Delhi when I was there last summer by a generous grant from the Fulbright Foundation. So the US Department of Education thought it was worth sending me to research Indian magic and Indian street magicians. So to begin though with a trick, if you will, an ancient illusion or demonstration, something that's been around for hundreds of years, and I think something that is really relevant for the moment that we are in right now. And we're going to use this thread, which I hope everybody can see. I think you can. And you might have noticed that over the course of the pandemic, and maybe even more so over the course of the election in the last couple of days and weeks, a lot of things have become disconnected, right? Connections that we had with family or with friends have started to become broken over certain reasons. Now, sometimes it's simply that you aren't able to visit your family for the holidays as you once were. Sometimes it is that, people actually have gotten into deep arguments over philosophical or political things. Sometimes it is simply that, the possibility of coming together seems just too complicated or too hard. And so what that leaves us with is all of these little shards, we might say, all of these little bits and pieces and broken connections that used to be there. So the question is, and we're going to do this right here, right in front of you, virtually, but I encourage you to do this in your real life as well. Can you take all of these little broken bits and pieces, and particularly now, even maybe before the pandemic is done, is it possible that you can reconnect these things? Reach out to those people that you haven't spoken with in a long time, or do something that might bring them back together. Now, I don't know if this is possible, but I'll try to show you how it would look. Because if you had it here and you put them together and you just reconnect like that, if I can do it here, you can do it in your own life, and we can do it in our country and in this world. Thank you. And in some ways, that is the theme of my presentation today as well, which is that this idea of Indian magic sometimes seems like it's something that is so far away, so exotic. You know, a poor bearded and turbaned brown person sitting on the street playing a monkey drum, doing these ancient and bizarre tricks. And yet, I'm going to show you, just briefly anyway, that Indian magic is part of the Western imagination. It's part of American culture. It's part of Western culture, and it's been there for a long time. The very first thing I would suggest when we think about not just India specifically, but Eastern magic or magicians from very far away, is that at least 2,000 years ago, there's a story that at the birth of Jesus, so I do history, right? Not religion, but so the historical story is there, that there were three people, the Magi, right, who came from the East, probably from Persia, right, but from the East by camel to this important moment. Even a couple of thousand years before that, of course, there's the ancient story of a rod and a snake that happened in the court of the Pharaoh. You know, somebody produced or turned a rod into a snake. Don't worry, these are fake, okay? So you have these stories of magic and wonder kind of in the Middle East or kind of in the West. Now in India, for at least 5,000 years, there has been an idea that magic and religion are kind of intertwined. So the four main ancient, 5,000-year-old odd Hindu scriptures, the Vedas, one of them is called the Atarva Veda. And this book is filled with magical spells, things that can make you levitate, or that can make you change shape, or get smaller, or get bigger, or make things vanish, make you defeat your enemy in battle, make you acquire a woman to love that may not love you. So there are all sorts of spells that are described in this book. Now, when we look at the book, and I have to confess, I may have tried a couple of these things. They don't seem to work right now. Maybe they worked 5,000 years ago. I'm not too sure. Nowadays, you have to actually practice to get the tricks done. You can't just say a few ancient Sanskrit things and they will work. But the idea that somehow in India, this magical land, things happen that don't happen in the rest of the world is very powerful. And so I'd like to show you one example of this. In the colonial period, when the British were ruling over India, Indian magicians started coming over to Britain. And they became so popular in Britain. The tricks they did were so amazing: juggling, sword swallowing, things that, well, the British were doing, coin tricks, card tricks, and billiard ball manipulation. And here come the Indian magicians. They became so popular that British and American magicians started dressing up like Indians. So this is a relatively famous historical example. Carter the Great, you may have heard of or seen him. You may have seen the cover of the book, Carter Beats the Devil. He was an American magician who would, of course, often perform wearing a turban. This is another bit of a historical magic poster from the magician named Karmi, who also performed as an Indian. And you can see in the poster, they have these kind of images of, astonished, frightened, amazed Indians. And this is possibly the most famous Indian trick out there. It is, of course, the famous Indian rope trick. And this is a poster that was from the great American magician, Thurston. And in the trick, of course, a rope goes up into the air, and a small Hindu boy climbs up to the top of the rope, vanishes at the top. His body parts fall apart, and he is reassembled at the ground. So I just wanted to show you that. And I realize we're getting sort of tight on time. So I'm going to show you one more little item here. Oh, this is a poster from a traditional, not traditional, from a modern style Indian magician. This is K. Lal. The Hindi says Vishwa ke Mahan Jadugar, the greatest magician in the world. And then at the bottom it says Aapke Shahr mein, so in your city. So this is a kind of a stock poster, and then he would print up the name and date of the particular show, and print thousands of these, put them all over town. So this is an Indian stage magician dressed as a Maharaja of magic, wearing the turban, colorful silk outfit and everything. That's a kind of modern style Indian magician that was created in the mid 20th century. I'm going to end with a short clip of a traditional Indian street magician that is from the 1950s. So you hear this kind of like American narrator voice, like explaining it all to you. But this is in fact a really stunning trick of a traditional Indian street magician, just kind of sitting on the ground with a simple basket and doing something that is pretty amazing. I'll leave you with that. I'm working on a book. I'm working on a web series, lots of other things to share Indian magic more broadly. And I do shows as well. So here we go. Let's see. This should work. I think I have to hit the share screen. Okay, good. And there we go. And okay, does that look good? And we'll do full screen. I'll leave you with this tonight and have a wonderful night, and hope to see you around in other events.
The bag seems to be empty, all right, doesn't it?
Wait a minute, sorry.
And yet he draws an egg out of it. And now the egg is a coin. Say, did you ever see a coin walk up a hill before? Well, there it is. But the bird trick is his best trick. It's the most puzzling trick I ever saw. Watch him very closely now. The basket is empty. His sleeves are rolled up. He tosses the toy bird up in the air and then pounds it good and plenty with his fist. The cloth has nothing fastened to it on either side. After all, he's sitting right on the ground in the courtyard of our hotel with just a plain piece of matting spread before him. What can he be fussing with under that cloth? And we begin to wonder what's happened to the toy bird. Well, can you beat it? A whole flock of birds, and they're alive, too. Oh, yes, very much alive. But when the magician calls, back they come. That's another mystery that I was never able to solve.
So let's see. Do I need to undo anything here? That is my set for this evening, and I appreciate you tuning in, and I wish you well, and hope that you reconnect with friends and family, and I'll continue trying to share the magic of India. Have a great night. Thank you.
All right. Okie dokie. So, yes, all right. Keep it going, ladies and gentlemen, there for Shreyash Palkashar. And Shreyash, I'm so terribly sorry that I Vitamixed your name during the introduction. I worked on it and then failed. But Shreyash Palkashar is the gentleman's name. Truly a magician and a scholar. It's just so great to see someone who has so much passion for the history of our art form, and to see how magic is done in cultures other than the one in which I grew up, or the one up in which I grew, for you grammar pedants out there. Well, I am so very excited, ladies and gentlemen, about our next performer. I have had the great privilege of working with this gentleman live and in person back when that was a thing. We did a show together out at the House of Yes in Brooklyn, an amazing venue, which I encourage you to visit once that is something we can all do again. And he's just an extraordinary performer and a super nice guy, as it happens, which is a lovely combination. You may have seen him, ladies and gentlemen, on the CW Network's program Penn and Teller Try This at Home 2. He was twice named College Magician of the Year. And let me tell you something, that is a very competitive field. So the fact this guy won it not once, but twice is pretty amazing, a testament to just how talented this guy is. He has performed in Japan, in Singapore, in South Korea, in South Africa, one of those other South countries, and all over the United States. He's streaming to us live tonight from Philadelphia, and you are in for such an amazing treat. Please give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for the one, the only, my friend, Randy Shine.
Wow, good. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. As Eric said, my name is Randy Shine. I'm from the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, better known as Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's a pleasure to be here, and I see some wonderful faces. The Phillips at home, my good friend. How are you? Love you, man. Miss you. But I want to begin with a quick warm-up exercise just to get me just ready for the rest of my few minutes I'm here with you. This warm-up exercise using my 2 fingers. I'm going to tap them 3 times and count in Japanese and cause something to appear at my fingers. Come a little bit closer to the screen. Here we go. Ich, ni, sun, right here. This little thimble. My friend, so I could take this thimble and it only takes 1, 2, 3 seconds for that thimble to completely vanish, but then it appears underneath my arm. It takes 2 seconds, my friend, 2 seconds for that thimble to travel from this side of my body and come out of this side of my body. 2 seconds to go from this side of my body and come out of this side of my body. 1 second to go from here to there. And if you missed that, I can send it back. But this last part of this warm-up exercise is my favorite part and most difficult and challenging, because I'm going to toss this thimble in the air and attempt for it to land here. Drum roll, please, everyone. Drum roll. 3, 2, 1. No, I didn't miss. I just had to catch the rest of these right here. Good. Well, thank you. Cards. A magician's favorite tool. There's a relationship between cards and time. There are 52 cards in a deck, 52 weeks in a year. There are 4 suits, clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds for a season, summer, winter, fall, spring. There are 13 cards in a suit, which corresponds to the 13 cycles of the moon. There are 12 court cards, those of Jack, Queen, King, 12 months of the year. Now, if you were to add up the pips to all the cards, ace being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack is 11, Queen is 12, King is 13, you get 364. Throw in a joker, 365, the number of days in a year. There's always 2 jokers in a fresh deck of cards. That second joker accounts for leap year. Cards come in 2 colors, black and red, which stands for the duality of life, day, night, good, evil, sweet, sour. So what does all that mean besides I'm a nerd for knowing all of that? It means cards are ancient, mysterious, and ritualistic. And I'm going to do a few mysterious and ritualistic, one mysterious and one ritualistic things with a deck of cards. The first one actually is not a card trick. It's a trick with a card and 4 holes. If you can see these 4 holes, give me a thumbs up. This is how this ritual begins. It's the ritual of unity. Simply by rubbing my fingers together, that creates friction. Friction creates heat. Heat creates energy. I take this first hole, I heal it, and let it join its friend right there. That's hole number 1. Hole number 2 right here. Take it, and it joins its other friend. Hole number 3, since I'm ambidextrous, this last hole, it's healed. I'm not going to touch the card. I'm going to see if I just pluck it and it lands right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. But we're going to end where we began. At the speed of sound, they go back. Thank you, my friend. So There's three principles that I live by, and I attribute these principles to my personal success. And I would submit to you, friends, that these principles that you can apply to your life and to your success. Now, I know everybody has a different definition or I should say path to success, but it all boils down to these three things. And those three things are luck, faith, and skill. And I like to demonstrate those three principles, or should I say utilize them, to see if I can be successful with this trick. We have 3 coins, 2 hands, and 1 incredible handsome magician with dreadlocks. Coin number 1, principle number 1 is luck. Coin number 1. If I'm lucky, with a puff of air, I could cause that first coin to completely vanish. That's 1 down, 2 to go. Faith is something you believe in. I believe I could cause that second coin to vanish at the speed of sound. Skill. Skill is something you practice hours, days, months, years. It took me 3 months, friends, not to cause this coin to vanish, but to cause this coin to travel from here to there. That's coin number 1. Coin number 2, Ray, right there, right in your nose, Ray. There. Good. And coin number 3, if you watch Ella, right here, my fingertips as I shake, coin number 3 will slowly materialize right there. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's luck, faith, and skill, my friends. So let's see who could we use, because this is the audience participation part. Helen, how are you? Can you unmute yourself?
Sure.
How are you, Helen?
I'm good. I'm good.
And where are you viewing from, my friend?
I'm currently in Washington, D.C.
DC. Okay, great. Okay, great. DC. Helen, do you have a calculator on you or on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Don't hold your calculator up to the screen. Keep it off screen.
Okay.
Okay. Every human being, friends, everyone, every living human thinks in 3 ways. That is in words, images, and numbers. For example, if I were to ask you to think of the street you live on, you're going to think of the word. Dallas Street, College Avenue, whatever. If I were to ask you to think of a friend, you're going to think of an image of them. The color, the style of their hair, whether they wear glasses, are they short, tall, thin, or muscular? If I were to ask you to think of the distance between DC and New York City, now this is where it becomes a little challenging, because you may think in terms of hours, kilometers, or any other unit of measurement. Numbers are the most difficult thing to tap into in the human's mind. And I'm going to attempt to do that right now. So you have a calculator, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Helen, I want you to think of a 3-digit number. Now, however, we want to deal with whole numbers, so make sure the first digit is larger than the last digit. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Okay, it's like 321, 3 is larger than 1. Don't use that, but type that number, that 3-digit number in your calculator. Give me a thumbs up and yes when it's done.
Okay. Do they have to be consecutive?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Okay.
So you have a 3-digit number, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, first digit is larger than last digit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hit the subtraction symbol.
Okay.
Correct. Now you're going to reverse that number. So if it was 321, it's 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
You've done that.
Yeah.
Hit the equal sign.
Okay.
So, Helen, it'll be fair to say that right now you're focusing on a number that you had no idea that you'll be focusing on.
Yep.
All right. And it's fair to say that you had no idea that I will be selecting you for this experiment.
Yep.
All right. Keep the camera off screen. Take off your glasses because I don't want to be accused of seeing a reflection. Come a little
Okay.
bit closer.
I'm really blind though, so.
That's okay. Come a little bit closer to the camera.
Okay.
They say the eyes are the windows to the soul. It's also the windows to the conscious and subconscious. Listen to my voice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Blink. That tells me the first digit of that new number.
It does?
It does. I just wrote it down. If you didn't see, I just wrote it down. Helen, tell everyone, what is that first digit? Everyone.
1.
Good. That's exactly what I thought. Now I'm going to go for the second digit. Look at me. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Blink 2 times. Good. I got the second digit. Okay. We're going to go for the third and final digit. Right here, triangle, the Illuminati. You're from DC. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Okay. Look here. Blink. All right, the moment of truth, Helen, you can put back on your glasses.
Oh, great.
All right. As I said, the eyes are the windows to the soul. It's also the windows to the conscious and subconscious. Helen, you was thinking of a random number that you had no idea that you will be focusing on tonight. And just by looking in your eyes and giving you some instructions on to breathe, listen to my voice, and blink, I think I have it. What is your number?
198.
That's exactly what I have and saw in your eyes right there, 198. There you go.
Very nice.
This is my time. My name is Randy Shine. Thank you. Take care. Peace. Be good. God bless.
Thank you, Randy Shine. Oh my goodness. Even better than I remembered. And what I remembered was very good indeed. Reading minds and whatnot across the internet. It's crazy go nuts. Really amazing stuff. And the thing with the card in the holes, traveling this way and that, hither and yon, all about the thing. Craziness. Excellent. Fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have but one more act for you here tonight. Do you want to see one more? Good, because one more is all we have left. Now, our headliner for this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is what you would call a showbiz veteran. She joined the circus when she was but a wee little lass, and since that time, she has performed over 4,000 shows. 4,000, that's a 4 with 3 zeros and a comma. Over 4,000 performances, private events, corporate events, theaters, colleges, you name it, she has done it probably hundreds of times if it involves performance. Now, among her performance highlights is the following. She performed at President Barack Obama's inaugural ball in Washington, D.C., and my goodness, do I miss that president? I certainly do. She also has performed for Hillary Clinton, performed for her in San Francisco, of all places. She has MC'd, she was the MC for the Bay Area's very first TEDx Youth Talk. She did that as well. So she is not just a magician. She is not just an entertainer. She's a speaker. She is not exactly a life coach, but she helps people become better at what they do. She's a team building instructor. So she helps out with corporate, companies who want to make stronger and better teams. She helps with that. She essentially helps people find their mastery, their mission, and their magic. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very excited to welcome to your screens our headliner for tonight's episode of Flavors of Magic, the one, the only, Heather Rogers.
Thank you, everyone. I would also like to introduce you to my new publicist, Eric Walton. He's now my #1 top paid executive. That's the best intro I've ever received on that. Thank you, Eric. Well, This set is for all of you space aliens out there who are picking up on this digital feed. And this is a special lucky night for you because we're celebrating the launch of my new book, How to Win an Earth Girl, Hot Tips and Tricks for Aliens Looking for Love by me, Heather Rogers, hopeful abductee. These tips are so hot. I tell you, they are spitfire hot. I mean, can't you just feel the heat? Now, the first thing you need to know as an alien is that you space brothers have to understand that it's pretty complicated. Even when the space aliens are interbreeding with each other, I mean, say they come down to Earth as tourists. He's a reptilian, he wants to go to the aquarium. She's a gray, she wants to go to the planetarium. They compromise. They decide to go to the exploratorium, but they can't find parking, so they end up on the pier drinking ketchup out of a brown paper bag. By the way, Heinz 57 Sauce is the Regional Federation of Star Galactic Travelers sponsor for this program. It's so good, it'll just disappear like that. As I was saying, if you want to snag an Earth Mama, please do not use this pickup line. Do not say, "Hey baby, I'm E.T. You want to go intergalactic?" Don't do that. Also, do not probe her pets. Don't eat her pets. She will not appreciate that. I promise you. Now, another piece is if your idea of a hot night out is maybe laying down a few crop circles and zigzagging in the sky to freak out some PTA moms, you're a geek. You're going to have to up your game. So, how do you go from being a square trickster to a well-rounded hipster? Well, I'm going to give you some tips. This is really important. Now, it's all about foreplay. If you really want to fire it up with a lady, this sat too long. If you really want to, can you see the little painfully small flame? If you want to fire it up with an Earth girl, don't give her flowers. That's just so passé. I'll tell you what you really want to do. I'm now going to introduce you to the very elaborate Earth mating ritual dance. What you do is you take her dollar bill and then you fold it. Don't forget to do the elaborate Earth mating dance. You have to move the neck. Yes, you take her dollar, you turn it into $100 bill, and then you give it to her. Do this 20 times and you will win her heart. I promise you. Now, the Anunnaki came to Earth to mine for gold, but Pleiadians have a heart of gold. Now, if I were to see a Pleiadian, I wouldn't act too much like I was trying to get their attention. All I might do is say, "Hi." Now, I actually did have an alien experience earlier today. I was sitting on my porch and a ship came down. And I have to admit, I was a little bit surprised. I said, "Whoa!" But then I realized it was just a nice family. It was an Anunnaki family. They had one question. They want to know how to drink. They want to know the best alcohol you can drink. And I'll tell you, I do have some, I'm going to tell you the one thing. The one thing you're going to need, I'm going to unveil it now, and that is vodka. Vodka gives you the most bang for your buck, and it's low in calories. I tell you, the last thing you're going to see me eating is brandy. To me, that's just cheap brown liquor that goes into eggnog. And someone, please tell me what the interest is in a blue Hawaiian. I mean, it has way too many calories, and it's way too girly, don't you think? And let's face it, sangria is just for amateurs who don't know the value of hard drinking. No, take my road-tested advice and stick to vodka. You'll be glad you did, unless you black out and forget. Thank you. Now, if you, I gotta say, you off-world hotties need to know a few things about Earth girls, and that is, we're addictive. We all have addictions, and I'm addicted to cards. Yeah, It starts out innocently enough. After all, it's just a deck of cards. One pack can't hurt ya. But soon a fascination arises. Whew. It sort of just sneaks up from behind ya, if you know what I mean. And then comes the day when you realize you can't put them down. That's when you know you're hooked. Can I get a witness? Can you guys feel me on this? I tell you, it's crazy. Here, let me put these back in here. And I tried to get help. I was in PA, Pinnacle-aholics Anonymous, but those just aren't my people. So now it's infiltrated every area of my life, whether I'm working out at the gym, or if I'm directing airplanes at the airport, or if I'm at a clothing optional retreat and I see a friend. Hi! It's so embarrassing. I do try to fight it. They are just cards, right? Boom. If I can give up Pop Rocks and Pepsi, I can give up these. I say, look, you are not the boss of me. In fact, I can quit any time I want. The problem is, I don't want to. They feel so good in my hands. So crisp and plastic coated. So great for cheating at poker. Whenever I'm feeling empty-handed, I tell you, I just reach for some cards and boom, I feel supernatural. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, and the strap falling off is perfectly coordinated with my electronic devices. It's all planned. Now, let me tell you, Mr. Out of This World, would you like to go for a drink? Or how about dinner for two on Venus? Maybe you'd like to chart a little island off the coast of my heart. It's true, love is a gamble. But if we play our cards right, we might just get lucky. Wait for the finale, wait for it, here goes the finale. Oh, yes. Thank you very much, thank you. Now, I just have one last thing to say to all of you freewheeling, gorgeous Pleiadians. If you're a tall, strapping blonde off-world, you should know that I am single. And if you want to take me on a ride aboard your spaceship, you should know that I do come prepared. All right? I have electrolytes, you need that. I'll have a toothbrush in case it's a sleepover. And of course, a pencil so that I can write down all your fascinating fractal, Merkaba, warp drive formulas that you're dying to teach me. And I'll bring some cards in case you want to play some sky-clad poker. And some crayons so we could make ecstatic art together. So you should know that I do have a few anti-gravity tricks up my sleeve. My secret is magnetism. You see, I can produce an equal and opposite magnetic force to counterbalance the pull of gravity. As you know, opposites attract. So, I have to ask you, can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Everybody knows that gravity is interpreted as the curvature of space, time, and mass. So, I just think that we should get together and take anti-gravity into orbit. Because as you and I both know, it's all about the torque. So, if you want to make contact with this one-woman party package, just ping my pineal gland. Thank you.
All right. Fantastic. All excellent advice for those of you who aren't from Earth. If you're looking to impress Earth ladies, do everything that Heather Rogers just said. And I think you'll be shocked at how well her advice works. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for yet another installment of Flavors of Magic. We do appreciate your time and attention here this evening. We've got shows coming up in the next few weeks and months here. We do hope that you will tune in for each and every one of those. Oh, I do want to give a shout out to the most valuable player, at least as volunteers go this evening. Helen did an amazing job. Helen, thank you so much for being such a gracious volunteer. Yes, thank you. Again, thank you to all of our volunteers, all the people here in our little Zoom room. Now, if you would like to be in the Zoom room and you want to be one of the volunteers for this show, just get in touch with us and we will make that happen. It's a much different experience to actually interact with the performers than to just watch it on YouTube or Facebook or what have you. Still an excellent experience, but if you want that up close and personal interactive thing, get in touch with us and we will make that happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Eric Walton. I have been your master of ceremonies here this evening. How about a big round of applause for our entire cast? Of course, we started with Ryan Phillips. Ryan, thank you so much for being so awesome with your coins and your craziness. We, of course, had Sarah Krassen and Bamberg, yes, doing their amazing stuff. Of course, there was Smokey doing his very, very cool stuff with the cards and the dots and all of that stuff. Of course, there was Shriyash Pelshikar. I think I might have said it correctly that time. If not, I'm sure someone will let me know. Of course, Randy Shine from Philadelphia. Always such a pleasure working with Mr. Shine. And then our headliner, Heather Rogers, who is, I believe, streaming from California. And also a shout out to our technical wizard here this evening. Omar has been keeping all of this going. Omar, thank you so much for your amazing work. It's been fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, yes, and thank you to our producers. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Rogue. And that's it. My name is Eric Walton. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. And stay safe and good night. All right.
Okay, thanks so much, everybody. If you want to stay in the Zoom room, you're welcome to stay, and some of us are going to hang out and chat for a little bit. But thank you all so much for coming, and we hope that you enjoyed the show.
Eric, thank you so much. You're awesome.
Eric, that was fantastic. Thank you. I really appreciate you stepping in like this.
Yeah, just epic. I actually have to go on to